We're still here. Morning, everybody. Soul to Shinola here with thoughts for the end of the world for this Friday, December 21st, 2012. That's right, Doomsday. Yeah, who said it was Doomsday? I don't know. I guess all those preppers got nothing to worry about anymore, right? They can just get rid of all their stuff. Turn it over to Uncle Sam. You can feed it to the needy and the poor because you don't need to prep for anything anymore, right? No, I don't think so. Anyway, let's get on with the stories for today. So we see that unemployment, first-time claims, went up a little bit again, 17,000, which is kind of odd for this time of year, you know, December, the Christmas holidays and all. Usually people are finding jobs and not needing to file for unemployment. But, you know, they crept up a little bit, coming in at 361,000. That's just a 17,000 increase from the week before. And more doom and gloom to come on that probably after the first of the year. We'll just have to wait and see. One of the things, though, that is going to affect everybody, the talks on the fiscal cliff kind of broke down. You know that John Bonner, whatever his name is, whatever fits, he came up with this Plan B, which, if I'm not mistaken, Plan B was an abortion pill, right? Wasn't that Plan B or something from the French that didn't get passed in this country? Well, it got aborted. They pulled the bill last night because the conservative side of the Republican Party said, we're not going for this. That's it. Enough. You're not serious about cutting spending. You all just want to raise taxes, and nobody wants to cut any spending, so pull and support. That's it. And you know what? It's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. But if they had done this 4 years ago and just locked it down, cut the budgets, reduce taxes, we probably would have been out of this by now. Probably would have had unemployment down in the 6.5%, 6% range instead of up in the high 7s, low 8s, or 14.5%, whatever number you want to look at. But no, our politicians think they know best, and they're going to keep pushing for what they think is the best thing for us. And we're just going to have to wake up to the fact that it's going to be painful, and they've screwed us. And hey, what can I say? Elections have consequences, right? Yeah, speaking of the government and what wonderful things they've done for us taxpayers lately, it looks like General Motors is going to buy back a little over 200 million of the shares from the government. These are the shares that were given to the government as part of the bailout deal. You know, when we bailed out GM, half of it was in shares, half of it was in, you know, turning over the company to the unions and taking the bondholders and flushing them down the toilet. But yeah, it looks like they're going to buy back, but it's a guaranteed premium over what the price has been lately, down at about $25.60. We're going to get a premium of $27.50. Well, actually, that's a premium of $1.90, but they're going to pay us a flat rate of $27.50 for those 200+ million shares over the next year. The only problem is that's half of what those shares were booked at, the $54 per share. So yeah, we're going to be looking at about 50% loss on those shares that we own of GM, that you and me, the taxpayer, that is. Where's my share? I don't know. So all told, it's going to be about a $40 billion loss in the GM bailout. So all those people that want to say that, you know, General Motors was saved, that Obama did a great job there, $40 billion that we lost, you and I, gone. That's money we're never getting back. That's money that just poof, flushed down the toilet. So speaking of consequences, out here in California, our energy rates are pretty high, and it looks like they're just going to keep going higher because they passed a law in this state a few years back mandating that people with solar panels could be hooked back up to the grid, and any excess power they generate would be sold back to the utilities, public utilities. Now, it's not an option. It's if the person decides they want to do it, the utility has to buy that energy back. In other words, they put the little modulating device on there, regulator device, whatever it is, and say during the day when you're not home and the sun is shining and you're not using much energy at your house, obviously you're producing electricity rather than that just being wasted. It gets fed back to the utility. Now, you would say, well, there would be a market value of that, you know, there would be some, you know, market forces at work. No, this is California. Everything's mandated. So what's mandated is that the utilities have to pay people who are selling their power back at the exact same rate they're charging for electricity. So for people who don't have solar, most businesses and most residential places in California who don't have solar, we pay a certain amount for that power. Well, the utilities have to pay that to people who are selling power back. The only problem is they're not allowed to deduct for the cost of maintaining the infrastructure. So it's basically a lose-lose situation for the utility, because they have to pay to buy this power, but they can't reduce what they're paying or charge a surcharge on that to recoup the cost of the infrastructure and them managing this whole thing. So all they can do is pass that on to, you guessed it, all the rest of us. So for the 1.3% of people in California that have solar panels currently, that are selling it back to the state, the other 98% we get to pay for that, to the tune of it's billions and billions of dollars. Moving on to other concerns in the privacy section, we have a story coming out about Instagram. Now Instagram, for those who may not know, I don't know, maybe you're hip and you're up in there. A lot of the young people nowadays I talk to use Instagram. A lot of them don't use Facebook anymore. Why? They say Facebook, too many old people use that. But Instagram, it's kind of part of the Facebook family. It's like Twitter, but with pictures. So Instagram is people taking pictures on their phones or whatever, and loading comments with it and posting them on Instagram, and then people can comment and so forth. And well, turns out that in part of the disclosure, it's been found that Instagram is claiming ownership of every single photo that's been uploaded. Now it has a thing in Instagram, apparently. I don't use Instagram. I just talked to some people about it, where you can time out your photos, that supposedly after a certain amount of time your photos will come down off Instagram. But well, as everything is in the electronic world, once you upload it, it's there. Now it might disappear, but they still got it, they own it. And they say they now have the right to sell those photos. So all your photos that you tweeted of you picking your nose or showing your bare butt or whatever it is you were doing on Instagram, yeah, that's right, they can sell it and make money off it. You have no say in the matter. Now you all know what happened last week. While I was editing and putting together the Thoughts for the Weekend video, news was breaking about the shooting in Sandy Hook, Connecticut, and of the slaughter of the innocent children there by that deranged youth, Adam Lanza. So, you know, I thought about stopping editing the video and putting it in, but then, you know, I kind of had a hunch that if I went with what I was reading about the incident at the time, I would have been made to look like a fool. Because, as you know, the media made so many mistakes in the beginning. They were reporting so many false rumors about what really happened and what was going on, that it's just, I don't know how you can trust anyone. The over-sensationalization, the hyping of everything that happens in this country, it's to our own peril. Because think about what they were doing. Now, it leaked out that the killer at this school was the older brother, Eric Lanza, who, you know, 24, lived in Hoboken, New Jersey, worked for I think one of the big 5 auditing firms, and somebody thought it was him, and all the media outlets, CNN, Fox News, ran with it and started reporting that it was him, putting his Facebook picture up, which I happen to have a screenshot of his Facebook page. Before they started when they first reported the name, but before they started posting his picture, I went and searched, because it's the first thing everybody does, found him, and you know, they've ruined his life. Because everyone's like, oh my gosh, this guy just killed a bunch of children. And it wasn't him. It was his mentally ill younger brother. You gotta wonder, well, at first it was like, well, what caused this to happen? Everyone wants to know what caused it, what caused it, what caused it. Well, I guess in the political world, the easy answer is it's the guns. The guns caused it. You know, it's these AR-15s, that's what caused this. You know, they're saying now that what probably caused it is his mother was working to have him committed to a mental institution. She was trying to gain custodialship over him so that she could commit him, and they're saying that it was his fear and his knowledge of this that led him to shoot her and kill her, and then go kill the kids at the school that she apparently, in his eyes, loved more than him. What caused this is pure evil. A complete lack of morality, of godlessness in this country. I know I have a lot of followers who are atheist or agnostic, and I'm sorry, but it's the truth. You're not going to learn morals from your educators. You're not going to learn it from society. You learn morals from having faith and understanding in God and your purpose in this life. And you see what happens when we play to everybody's victimhood, if you will. We pamper people. We lead them along the road of misery and just tell them it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Poor you. It's society. You know, it's all these other people causing you problems in life. You know, you're a sweet angel and there's nothing you've done wrong, and don't worry, it's not your fault, it's other people's fault. Well, this is what you get. You get crazy people like this who feel it's not their fault. They're not the ones with the problem. It's the rest of you out there. They see demons all around them. They get their hands on a gun, illegally in this case, and they go out and they kill people. In this case, 20 innocent children, not to mention 6 adults. And then they always do the cowardly thing and they kill themselves because they're scared. They're scared and they don't know what else to do except kill themselves. They're not man enough or woman enough to face justice and answer for what they've done. You know, it really is sickening. It just angers me that there's all this uproar and evil. The last thing you do in a crisis situation is react irrationally. You need to stop and think and reflect and think about what's going on. But no, our politicians run straight ahead, right into the fire. They don't care. Obviously, it's the guns. We need to ban the guns. Ban, ban, ban. Take them away. Yet, what do we see in this country is people running out in just throngs of people. We tried to go to the gun store, you know, local ones here on Monday, and forget about it. Lines were out the door. You can't buy anything anymore. It's happening all across the country. Though US Freedom 22 has an inside scoop on a place that has 6 AR-15s, and they're still in the $700 range. So, hey, hit them up. But now we're talking about things like in California of limiting ammunition sales to, I think, 50 rounds a month. Talking about things like having everybody have to register all their guns, having licensing fees, annual licensing fees, background checks every year, having background checks to purchase ammunition. Obviously, limiting the size of magazines in the nation, you know, from whatever size down to 10 or less. They'll probably go California style and have to have bullet buttons. Yeah, you're all going to get to find out what that is, I'm sure, at some point here. And prevent people from having these kind of assault weapons. Assault weapons. You know what? A baseball bat is an assault weapon. My fist can be an assault weapon. In fact, I'll throw up a chart in there. It'll be a chart in there about the chart, the supporters of the federal assault weapons ban. You don't want you to hear. It'll be in here. Links down below. That shows that more people, this is a study from 2010, more people died in this country as a result of hands, fists, and feet than they did from shotguns and rifles combined. These are murders, not accidents. Let me repeat that. More people died as a result of the use of hands, fists, and feet than from shotguns and rifles combined. Now granted, there were over 6,000 murders committed by handgun. 1,700 knives and blades, 1,700 other weapons. That's probably blunt objects, whatever they could find near them. So it doesn't... Banning AR-15 rifles? Really? Why don't you ban fists and feet? Why don't you wrap everybody in bubble wrap and they can't leave their house unless they're wrapped tightly in bubble wrap? You can't stop evil. There is evil in this world and we just try to ignore it. We try to tell people, don't worry about it. Just turn on your TV, plug into American Idol, watching some Jersey Shore. There's no evil. No, the only evil is the corporations or the millionaires and billionaires in this country. No, there is evil in this country. There's evil in this world. And no law out there is going to stop it or prevent it from doing harm to people around you. You just have to have strength in your family, in your community, strength in your faith in God. It sickens me when I hear people like over on CNN, you got Piers Morgan, this exile Brit who's been in this country about 6 years, ripping apart Americans who stand up for the Second Amendment in this country, berating them, calling them cowardly, uninformed, ignorant people for wanting to say that guns aren't the problem. We don't need you people coming over here. I mean, I love the British, but when you send this kind of scum over here and they give them a job at CNN, no wonder why CNN's ratings are the lowest they've ever been since the start of the network. You put this kind of creep on the air, and all he does is berate Americans over values that he has no clue about. He wasn't raised with them. He has no history with them. Yet he thinks he can tell us about our rights and our liberties and what we need in this country. Last week I reported about the Person of the Year. I talked about how the top vote getter on the public survey that Time was doing was a dictator, Kim Jong-il, or Kim Jong-un. You know, his son, Kim Jong-il, died, I think. I don't know. Maybe he's with Elvis. I talked about how they love their dictators. They love, you know, Chavez and Kim Jong-il. Well, they announced their Person of the Year, and once again they love their dictators. For the second time in 4 years, President Barack Obama has been named Time's Person of the Year. I don't think anything else more needs to be said about that. I want you to think about this weekend as we have Christmas approaching this next Tuesday. Whether you're Christian, Jewish, Happy Hanukkah. What do you say about Kwanzaa? I don't know. Crazy Kwanzaa. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Think about the reason for this holiday season. Reflections on the life of Christ and how you can help each other and help people around you. Look to do good in your community. Look to do good around you, in your family, in your place of work. But be aware of what's going on around you. Understand that the times ahead are not looking good. Yes, this sounds like fear, gloom and doom, and it's not meant to be, but it's coming. If they don't get these debt negotiations done, we're going to have the fiscal cliff. Which is funny. Fiscal cliff. We're in a economic black hole as it is. So it's going to get much worse. I see the stock market diving this morning, right on the start, dropping 120 points. We saw commodities, gold and silver, take a big hit the last couple days. You know, it's not a good sign. Obviously things are going to melt down. It's probably going to happen sooner rather than later. It needs to happen sooner. Just be aware. Be a good human being. Don't be like these guys that talk about poisoning kids and poisoning their food and all this other stuff. I saw those videos from Brooklyn Prepper and Yankee Prepper, and you know, spot on, guys. It's just, I don't understand people that say that they would kill anybody that came around. You know, I understand you need to take care of your own, but you also need to realize that the more you work together, the better off everybody will be. There's going to be people out there you can't reach, but there's nothing you can do about that. So just be close with your family this holiday season, this Christmas time. Make sure you let your loved ones know that you love them. Make sure you forgive those who have done you wrong this time of the year, and try to start fresh. Try to move along and stop reflecting on the negative things of your past. Have a positive outlook for the future. by this time next week we'll be talking about New Year's. So that's all I've got for this weekend. Y'all take care. SOS out.